Hello and welcome back to Borders Rugby Special. This afternoon we're at Netherdale for the annual Boxing Day Waverley Cup fixture between Gala and Melrose. The Waverley Cup has been contested since 2006 and so far the stats are 7 wins to Melrose, 5 to Gala, 1 draw and 3 cancellations. 2 of those cancellations have been in the past 2 years due to COVID, so the Cup hasn't been played for since 2019 when Gala won 26-14 down at the Greenyards. Now let's hand over to Bruce Millar and the rest of the commentary team.
Good afternoon everyone. Great to be here, apart from perhaps the weather. It's very chilly, although Neil Hinnigan has just arrived in a pair of shorts, so it can't be quite as cold as I certainly feel, but I think this game might well keep us warm. It's always fiery. And it's great to have it back in the Borders rugby calendar after a 3-year hiatus. And of course the Boxing Day battle between these two sides dates back much further. That first played for the Waverley Cup in 2006. The first time it's been fought over since 2019. Gala, the current holders, courtesy of a 26-14 win at the Greenyards back in 2019, but historically Melrose have the edge with 7 wins to Gala's 5, just the 1 draw between the two teams. And it will be Melrose to kick us off, playing from left to right as we watch from the back of the stand here at Netherdale, just as the sleet comes back on. The two sides have warmed up in fairly nice weather, albeit cold. It looks like Melrose playing into the conditions, just looking at what way the sleet is blowing. Glad to be up at the back of the stand here, taken in the middle of the line out by Elliot Ruthven. The Gala line out defence, initially good, drive Melrose back, so Melrose break away. They've lost a metre or two, still in possession. It's through the forwards, and Thomas Brown, Gregor Lindsay perhaps involved there, 2 second rows. And again, just carrying very close to that try line. Gala defence trying to organise themselves. That's a big hit there, just drive the Melrose player back a metre or so. And Melrose just keeping things tight for now. The backs will be looking for opportunities. There may well be space on the left hand side, but Melrose decide again to come to the right. Hutchison, a little switch of play with Donald Crawford. He's half through, tried to offload that. The ball's been lost and snapped up by Gala. Chance for Gala to break from their own 22. And it's taken into contact there by Murray Wilson. And back it goes to Craig Dodds. There's a look up and catches that one. Well, that's a huge kick with the wind behind him, and that will roll all the way into that Melrose 22. It's Archie Pilcher over on that far side, puts boot to ball. Tari Makowski with him. Again, a difficult kick into the wind and makes decent ground. So in it comes Fergus Johnson, a little bit slow in coming back. Right, it goes to Rutherford, and there's Dodds there. Well, no, just a flat pass, in fact, across to Wilson. That's a good carry by the outside centre, takes play into the Melrose 22. First real opportunity for the home side now, fighting their way towards that try line. They're only a metre or two short, and back it comes. Craig Dodds in there acting as scrum half, and then taken into contact by the forwards. Then Kyle Scott just to help clear that one out. Fergus Johnson, then back to Glenn McCrum, fighting his way, and he's helped over the try line maybe by Taylor Wilson. They're very, very close. Back it comes again. They go down the blind side. They've got players over, and you can tell with the cry from the crowd there that it's the home side that have gone over. First blood in the Waverley Cup to Gala. It's Gala 5, Melrose 0.
Yeah, it's a good finish. I think it's Scott Pethers that gets over the line, and just nice combination with the forwards and backs. And Craig Dodds, as you mentioned in commentary, Bruce, acting at 9, getting in there and moving the ball a bit quicker, and they've just actually really taken it to Melrose there for the few phases, and they burst them open. Great try.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff. Just a bit of power up there from Murray Wilson to begin with. He broke a couple of tackles, then Glenn McCrum broke a couple of tackles, somebody in behind him, and then they just rearranged very quickly, got quick ball, 2 simple passes, and Scott Peffers goes over in the corner. Gala have just done the simple things. They've actually hit the ball at pace rather than standing still, so it's as a guy hitting the ball at pace is making a big difference.
Oh, great conversion.
Conversion attempt from as far out on that right touchline as Craig Dodds could possibly have been, but the flags went up. Craig Dodds again, a little no-look pass, accurate this time and out into the midfield. Carried into contact by Taylor Wilson, quickly recycled and down the stand side touchline. Gala attack over halfway. In goes Fergus Johnson out to the forwards there. Taylor Wilson again with hands on ball. He makes very good ground there, takes play up towards that Melrose 10 metre line. Little ball out the back, good hands by Angus Dunn as Gala look to go coast to coast over on that far touchline now. Midway between the Melrose 22 and 10 metre line, 22 now, and playing with real intent here, the home side. Still leading 7 points to 0. 24 minutes on the clock here at Netherdale. Again, a hint of a dummy there and pass back inside. And Gala take play up to the Melrose 22, going through the phases now. Craig Dodds puts boot to ball there, and if this bounces up for Scott Peppers, can't get into his hands, but he tries to kick that one, manages to keep it in field, and the ball still anybody's. It's Gala have come up with it, and Glenn McCrum 10 metres out from the Melrose try line, a little bit fortuitously perhaps, but it's still the home side in possession. Jack Eason now the hooker, and again Fergus Johnson just looking for the forwards, finds Angus Dunn, number 8. And the Melrose defence quickly trying to make adjustments because they're a bit short on their right hand side, and Gala now a metre or so away. Angus Dunn again drives towards that try line, driven back by his opposite number Ben McLean. Good defence by Melrose. Out it comes again, squirts out, and Scott Peppers already with one score this afternoon dives towards that try line. The Melrose defence once again knock him back, and the referee a loud blast on the whistle, and in fact another blast because he's going to have a word with one of the Melrose players. But that's good Gala attack. Gala 7, Melrose 0, 26 minutes on the clock, and a great attacking position for Gala, 5 metres out from the Melrose try line on the stand side of the pitch here, and taken cleanly from the throw of Jack Eason in the middle of the line out, and Eason comes round, and that should have been handed to him, but the ball was just dropped. He's done well, the hooker, to pick that one up, and Gala still in possession, not as they intended, but driving again through the forwards towards that Melrose line. They're over the line, the referee's on the spot, awards the try, the second try of the afternoon for Gala, and Gala now lead by 12 points to 0.
Jack Eason did a really good job of clearing it up. He stayed on his feet. Then there was just guys bouncing behind him. Made a really good job of simple stuff really again. 1 from 2 conversions, up it goes in the air. This will land around about halfway, and not taken cleanly by Archie Pilcher, the Melrose left winger. He's dropped that one. That was clearly a knock on, but there's a penalty being awarded to Melrose. I'm a little bit confused. I'll have to bring in Iain Herd. I'm going to have to disagree with that. I thought the ball went backwards. I'm not sure what the penalty was for, but I'm pretty sure the ball went backwards.
The ball definitely went backwards. Gala are certainly asking him a lot of questions, and indeed Robin Sharp. So, maybe Craig Dodds is, he's clever that way. He's asking the questions, and it's difficult for any winger, never mind a guy that's maybe used to ball in hand, rather his defensive plays.
Well, it's Melrose in the attack again. A similar shape from first phase to Gala, that little diamond with the carrier at the front, and then options just to tip it inside or out or pull it out the back, and the referee playing an advantage as Jack Dobie, the Melrose loosehead, carries into contact, just takes play into the Gala 22. The referee saying the Gala not rolling away. Gala will be happy to have 2 tries to their name, the 1 Dodds conversion. However, the gap has been narrowed by Struan Hutchison, and Fergus Johnson again just marshalling the troops, gets a little pod of 3 forwards, just play on or around that Melrose 22, and then a little break there by Fergus Johnson. That was the line by Jack Eason, and I think the Melrose defence bought that and followed the hooker and just opened up the gap for the Gala scrum half, and that's got Gala to within 8 or 9 metres of the Melrose try line. 12 points to 3 they lead. 7 minutes left in the first half in the Waverley Cup here. Out it comes again to the forwards, and Gala just have to be patient here, go through phases, move that Melrose defence round the corner, come the forwards again, make another metre or so, and Johnson this time will use the backside. It comes to Dodds, a little ball there behind Peppers, and out to Andrew Mitchell on the left wing there, dives for the corner. He's somehow been stopped short. Unbelievable defence by Melrose, but Gala need to recycle this one, and the referee says time off, and he's going to have a quick word.
This is tight whether he gets it down or not. It'll be up to the AR. Who's the AR this side?
Darren Fisher.
It'll be up to Darren, because
he's got the ball in or around the line.
Yeah,
whether
it's
he's
close.
got it, I'm sure.
Shot the line. I've not seen a knock on. Is there a knock on? Yes or no? Okay. He's shot the line. He's recycled the ball back. You've got Grimmer on your side. Try, yes or no? Try. Time's on.
It was Peffers again.
Well, the referee has awarded the try after a short discussion with his assistant referee. So Scott Peffers goes over for his second and he starts third try of the day. Perhaps Andrew Mitchell was stopped short initially.
Yeah, definitely. It was Peffers that finished it.
I think Mitchell was probably on the ground, and Peffers has picked that one up. I'm not sure how the Melrose defence managed to stop Mitchell in the first.
I think he went for the slide.
Time he did.
It's a one piece of dry ground in the whole pitch, I think.
Yeah, I think Gala's been really well organised in their setup. You can see the difference maybe in the coaching setup at the moment. They're just looking a bit more organised in certain areas.
It's Melrose in possession, though, just outside their 22. Well, they're going to look to run this one, and it goes to the outside centre, channelled, and Donald Crawford dragged down just around the Melrose 10 metre line. Ball has been lost, but there was a hint of an opportunity there for Crawford, dealt with well by the Gala defence. It was lost, I think, by Gala, so it'll still be Melrose in possession. Brave again in these conditions to throw the ball about in the 22.
Yeah, talking about Fergus, he's a talented footballer. He's a rugby player as well. He plays 9, he can play in the wing. He's played 10 quite a bit. Played 10 for the YM a few times, and I think he's actually involved with GHA now as well, because he's through at university in Glasgow. So he's playing at a good standard of rugby.
He was impressive last year on the wing. Scored a number of tries in the season, last year's national one on the wing. So multi-talented guy.
Well, he's standing alongside Ewan Lindsay, his opposite number now at the scrum, and Melrose have been driven off that ball by an absolutely dominant Gala pack, and the referee Gordon Glashan awards the penalty to Gala. The scrums have been fairly eeksy-peeksy in the early stages. If anything, Gala looked like they were maybe going to gain a bit of dominance, but nothing like that. So Craig Dodds lining up a penalty. He's 50 metres in from the stand side touchline. This will be getting on for 40 metres on the angle there. Catches it nicely, and that comes back off the posts there, and eventually snapped up by, I think, Elliot Ruthven, but knocked on, and so of course picked up by a Melrose player. So there's a penalty awarded to Gala, and this time they're not opting to take the easy kick. They've tapped, and they're going to play this one, and they're now about 6 metres away from the Melrose try line. 17 points to 3 they lead. 43 minutes showing on the clock here. Can Gala get another one? Their fourth try as we approach half time here. The referee on the spot. Again, this Melrose defence defending the further lives here. They will not want to go any further behind. That's a big hit comes in there by Melrose, dislodges the ball. It bounces back on the Melrose side, and I think they will look to just turn around and kick this one back, and a little bit scrappy. That could have gone horribly wrong, but the referee does blow for half time. Highly entertaining half of rugby here in the Waverley Cup at Netherdale as the snow comes on once again. The half time score, Gala 17, Melrose 3. And the referee Gordon Galashan, he didn't have an awful lot to do in that first half. Blows his whistle, tells the Gala players to make sure they stay on side, and Craig Dodds, no surprise, sends that one as long as he can into the Melrose 22. And good play there by Melrose as they break through a couple of weak attempted tackles by Gala, take play up towards their own 10 metre line, and now look to play with the conditions behind them. Well, they should have learned a lesson from Iain Herd, because they had the opportunity there to kick that one long with the wind behind them. Only Craig Dodds at the back for Gala, but instead opted to play through the hands, and they've knocked it on. Well, scrum down to Gala, just 15 metres in from this stand side touchline on the Melrose 10 metre line. Out goes to Dodds again behind his centre partner Wilson, and take play out to Peffers over on that far touchline. He's got Mitchell with him, cuts back in field though, and play still with Gala just inside the Melrose 22. Into a high tackle there, and comes McCrum just to drive the Gala player forward, makes another metre or two, and Fergus Johnson, lovely footwork at the side of the breakdown there, and Johnson will go in the replacement scrum half. Came on in the first half for his brother Lachlan, and for the second time in the game Melrose left the door open at the side of the breakdown, and Johnson was alert to it, and he's darted through. Still had an awful lot to do. Great footwork by the scrum half, and he goes in for Gala's fourth try. It's Gala 22, Melrose 3.
He's been threatening to do that 2 or 3 times. He had a go a couple of times in the first half break, and when you get him one-on-one, there's absolutely no chance. He's got a great sidestep and he's got a bit of pace as well, so great individual try from Fergus there.
Fergus Johnson just sees that little chinky light and through he goes, and beautiful step to finish the try off.
Well, Bert Grigg, we said mentioned what he might have been speaking about at half time. Well, he'd be really disappointed with what he's seen from his side there. Still a metre or so away from the Gala try line. Out it goes again to the forwards. Dealt with well by the Gala defence as Melrose work their way across towards the centre of the field. A step back inside there by Kit Buchan on at number 8, and somehow kept a hold of that there. It was fantastic bit of skill by one of the forwards, took that sort of behind his head there and retains possession for Melrose. And if that ball had got into the hands of Donald Crawford, he was in, but Struan Hutchison couldn't quite get his hands free. But still Melrose peppering that Gala try line with attack after attack, and out it comes this time to Elliot Ruthven. It's still only a metre or so away. Gala defence has been superb, and the referee again having a very close look, but that one's just short. We'll come back again. Referee's playing an advantage this time, so free ball. Out it goes to Jack Dobie, who fights his way forward. The ball again goes loose, kicked away by Gala. The referee will come back as he was playing an advantage. Melrose 5 metres away now. Again, Callum Cruikshanks has a go. He's tackled by his opposite number, Jack Williamson. Further out they go. It's just Thomas Brown and Cruikshanks. Attack after attack. Elliot Ruthven this time again cuts back into the heavy traffic. I wonder if there might be a little bit more space further out, and Jack Dobie getting hands on the ball this time. It's still Melrose in possession, trailing 24 points to 3, and now the backs have a go. Hutchison has a little dart himself, but dragged down once more by Gala defence just in front of the post. The referee playing an advantage though. So once again free ball, and round the corner goes Colvin. He's already seen Johnson score in a similar fashion at the other end of the pitch. The referee this time may well have a word with one of the Gala players.
I think it'll be a card this time. It should be a card anyway.
Probably should be, but
so we've got one there, played advantage away from that. We've got one there, okay. He's basically come in and he's not rolled, okay. He's off his feet, okay, and he's just lay there. Look where we are, have a word. There's 2 there, 1 there.
I think that time that was the opportunity. There was 3 penalties, although he played advantage of them. I think that was a good opportunity there. He should have given the word there. Then that should be a yellow, I would suggest. Yeah.
Well, I would think that would be a final warning issued to Gala captain Liam Scott. As we got some treatment to, I think one of the Gala players just, and the end goal. In fact, no, it's one of the Melrose players, and it's maybe Archie Pilcher. I'm just trying to work out who it is, but either way, back to the action. And Dobie again, he's certainly electric when he carries the ball, but he's knocked back, and Melrose again have just lost a metre or 2. That Gala defence strung across their own 5 metre line, desperately trying to keep Melrose out of this one. It's about 5 minutes that Melrose have been down in this area of the field. 10 minutes played in the second half, and you can tell, I've no doubt, from the cheers from this Gala crowd. The Netherdale stand absolutely filled here. Have managed to turn that one over. Got hands on the ball there. Melrose player guilty of not releasing, and a chance for the home side to clear their lines.
I think Gala are fortunate to get a yellow there. However, their defence has been outstanding, and that was real meaningfulness in that, and you saw the way they celebrated, and they deserve the turnover just through their sheer gutsiness of their defence.
They'll be disappointed in that kick by Craig Dodds, though. It kind of wobbled a bit and hasn't found touch. He was trying to maybe just take a bit too much there, and that might work for him actually, because that's a loose kick. Was that Bruce Colvin, I think, has kicked that, and it's gone right over the dead ball line, so we'll come all the way back here. But it's a good throw into the line out by who was the number 8, Ben McLean, now playing hooker for Melrose. He comes round and gets his hands on the ball there at the back of that driving line out for Melrose, going a little bit cross field, but they're certainly making ground towards the Gala 22, and still keeping its shape. Enough to break away now, and broke the wrong way for me because it turned away to the left, but that's a good carry there by Ben McLean. So it's Melrose then inside that Gala 22, unable to make anything of their opportunities so far. The clock ticking down. Played 16 minutes in this second half of the Waverley Cup, and If Melrose are going to get themselves back in this one, you feel they've got to strike very soon.
There's a potential for penalty try and yellow card as well, or at least a yellow card.
Well, and it comes and taken cleanly. So we've got the first part of the equation right, have Melrose, and again that driving line out looking very solid, inching towards that Gala try line. This will be very difficult for the Gala pack to stop this time. They managed to slow it down, but they can only be a metre or so away, and they plunge over the try line. The referee on the spot, and his arm goes in the air, and Melrose do get themselves the try. That'll be the hooker. I think Ben McLean at the back, who he started the game at number 8 but is now playing hooker. He did well initially with his throw into the line out, taken cleanly, and then got his hands on the ball at the back of the maul, and has gone over.
The way the conditions are, if Struan Hutchison could keep punting them forward and asking and getting them into positions, there's no reason why they can't keep striking from them. But that's not maybe Melrose. They like to enjoy throwing it about, and it is, there's no league points at stake, but to get back out of this one, I would think if they keep to that, this could get tight.
Well, the conversion comes back off the post there, so unable to add the extra, so it's Gala 24, Melrose 8 as we approach the midway point in the second half. Still 24-8, feeling this could be the game for Gala if they could get themselves across here. So another crack at it, 5 metres out with a line out. Again taken cleanly in the middle, get their maul well formed. Melrose once again drive them a metre or so back, and will force Gala to try and go down that blind side. And Melrose got hands on this, I think. In fact, they may well manage to turn this one over. I think the referee have a very close look here, but I'm not sure that Gala are going to get this one out. They do not. So good work there by the Melrose defence. Well, it is the Waverley Cup, and as you would expect,
right on cue.
we've got a little bit of handbags, nothing too serious there. Nothing we've not seen before in these annual boxing. I think that's why it's called Boxing Day, is it not? It's named after this clash.
I don't think there's a lot in it. It's just a bit of handbags, yeah.
Dodds just drops it off to his centre partner Murray Wilson. So it's Gala in possession, centre field. Johnson gives it to his captain Liam Scott there ahead of the pod of 3 forwards. Again skips over a player, Johnson, and out to his half-back partner Harris Rutherford. Finds Andrew Mitchell looking for work now, trying to keep himself warm. The forwards now massing to the left there. Good work by Kyle Scott, crashes into contact, helped by Liam Scott. And Melrose trying to keep this one up, but Gala get that to deck. Ball very slow and coming back. The referee though saying illegally, not rolling away, and Fergus Johnson not hanging about here. He's already scored one, showing how dangerous he is. Lovely offload there to Scott Peppers, bursts into the line, into the 22 here and dragged down. Melrose defence now having to work once again, and Fergus Johnson for about the third time finds space at the side of the Melrose breakdown, and Gala only 5 metres away from the Melrose try line now. Good tackle by Ben McLean, playing at hooker now, started at 8 for Melrose. And Melrose cannot afford to concede here. 13 minutes left on the clock, and skipped through a tackle there by Glenn McCrum, the big Gala number 5. Gala once again just a metre or so away with the blast and the whistle from the referee. Quick tap, they don't even go for the line out. Fergus Johnson, I should say, apologies. And that ball, has it been lost? It's he was maybe just a little bit too clever there. Decided not to go for the line out. Quick tap, and they've lost that one. But Melrose now trying to play from behind their own try line. I assume they still have an advantage from that, maybe the knock on. They're taking their lives in their hands here, and Hutchison hurries that one away, but he's not found a touch taken by Ben Gill, who we've not seen an awful lot of, finds his standoff Harris Rutherford. A big hit there by Melrose, and they're now in the attack, take play up towards halfway there. Some big defence from both sides, bodies piling into contact there, but it is Melrose in possession on their own 10 metre line, and the Gala defence rather fractured here. They were attacking on the Melrose try line about 30 seconds or so ago. They'll come back trying to reorganise themselves. Biggest cheer of the day as the referee gets knocked over, and away goes Craig Dodds, chased all the way, kicks that one through into the Melrose 22. Back go Melrose, the ball goes loose, it's been snapped up there. Brilliant hands by the Gala outside centre, and a comedy of errors there. I mean, that started with a quick tap by Fergus Johnson on the Melrose try line. It was turned over, it was sent long. So back to the action. Melrose have kicked to the corner, so they'll throw into the line out. And again, find their man in the middle. Ball essentially handed over to the hooker there, Ben McLean. And Melrose again 4 or 5 metres away from that Gala try line. The Gala defence not quite so solid on this occasion, but they do keep Melrose out. Referee again playing an advantage, so a chance for Melrose to add to their tally of 8 points. And there's space out on the left hand side, but not needed, because over goes Stuart Hutchison. The standoff, and just caught the Gala defence napping there. I think expecting them to play through the forwards. Went wide more quickly, and there was a gap for Hutchison to go over, and they realised that time was short, not hanging about there. They've just stuck over that conversion. So the second try of the afternoon for Melrose. Hutchison converted by the same man to add to Ben McLean's earlier effort. 5 tries so far for Gala, so they lead 29 points to 15 with 5 minutes left on the clock, and that's a loose pass there. It's been snapped up by Gill, the Gala winger, and great offload there to stand off. Can't quite get over Harris Rutherford, but it's Gala who reply very quickly. They're a metre or so away from that Melrose try line, just conceded. Can they score again at the other end? The referee on the spot, he's on the wrong side there, but the Melrose defence again very tight to that breakdown. Gala are over. He has awarded the try. Gala have got themselves over.
Try given.
I think the last 2 tries Gala have scored have come off the back of interceptions just through Melrose forcing play, and Gala have just been on them. They deserve it, Gala. They deserve the bit of luck they've had there, and that's a lovely kick.
Yeah, well, Harris Rutherford taking on kicking duties from Craig Dodds, who'd kicked his first conversion, but then missed a couple, got one other, but Rutherford makes no mistake with a difficult kick. And we've got 2.5 minutes left to play in this one. Can be taken cleanly from the restart by Glenn McCrum, but no knock on. His captain Liam Scott snaps this one up. He's driven back in the tackle, but managed to offload there, and Douglas Weir sends that one long, snapped up by Kit Buchan, who charges up over halfway. That's a great carry and a good tackle in the end, I think, by Jack Eason. Put down Buchan. A very strong carry by the new number 8, and he's returned to the Melrose starting side. And it's Melrose in possession over on the far side on that Gala 10 metre line. The referee says Gala not rolling away, so a penalty to Melrose not hanging about. Good little bit of footwork there by one of the Melrose front rowers. Skips through the tackle and makes another metre or so, and out it comes to Thomas Brown. Again carries for Melrose, a line by Kit Buchan, but Melrose play behind him, and working their way up towards that Gala 22, and at scrum half there goes Struan Hutchison. Again hits coming in from that Gala defence. That's been juggled there, can't be taken by Elliot Compton. And it's Gala with turnover ball outside the 22, and nobody at the back there for Melrose other than Bruce Colvin has to scurry across, and it's a good chase by the Gala players. Harris Rutherford on the spot, but Colvin's managed to tidy that one up initially, but just on his own side of that Melrose 10 metre line. Again, a couple of big carries by these Melrose replacements. Buchan getting involved in the game then. A nice line by Ben McLean, allow the Melrose backs to once again play behind him. In go the hands there from Liam Scott. You heard in the build-up, talking about Liam Scott, a real expert at the breakdown, and he gets his hands on the ball now as Gala go quickly from the penalty. A hint of that, a knock on there. I thought he had dropped that, but the referee says no. Appeals from the Melrose players to Grant Denham. They are on this side. The referee going back now. He stuck his hand in his pocket, and I think one of the Melrose players is going to get a yellow card here.
Interesting, a great tap tackle there by Fraser Wilson there to set everything up. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's he stopped the guy going from inside 10 metres. My question mark would be, there's probably been more opportunities to give yellow cards that would have changed play in the 22s. I'm not so sure that's desperately needed. It's probably right, but I'm not sure it's really needed.
Just organising themselves. It looks like it'll be Fraser Wilson ahead of a group of 3 forwards. The referee again scurrying across him in a very close look as Gala a metre or so away. A little tip on pass there by Liam Scott to his second row Fraser Wilson, but he's driven back by that Melrose defence and dislodged the ball. It's Melrose now in possession. trying to clear their lines here. Kicked over the top. I don't think it's going to find a touch, so depending on the bounce here, that could well work. And it does indeed by Keith Young, and managed to offload the ball in the tackle there to Liam Scott, who darts away, goes over in the corner, up goes the referee's arm, and Gala do manage to add their 7th try. A little bit untidy by Melrose as they kicked that one, having turned it over close to their own try line, but all they did was find Keith Young, and good footwork, and in the tackle managed to offload to his captain Liam Scott in the 7 jersey, and he's certainly one of the quicker forwards on the field today.
Yeah.
He's got himself over in the corner.
If anyone deserves a try, it's Liam Scott. He's warriored all day. He's stuck to his task. He does what he does well. He sticks to that.
It's been an interesting one. Obviously I didn't see the result, or didn't see the game at Melrose, and you just look at this and think, how could Melrose have put 60 points on Gala that day? It's just like a completely different outcome.
Well, Craig Dodds taking that final conversion, and again he's kicked 2 really good conversions from out wide. Again, he couldn't have been any further out on that left touchline, but he put that one through between the uprights. I mean, he's a good kicker. He's a kicking coach with Scottish Rugby now, so he's obviously practising what he preaches, and he adds the extras there, and with that the referee blows for full time. Gala 43, Melrose 15, and as you say, guys, that is an unbelievable turnaround, really, considering 63-15 at the Green Yards in the league. Melrose very much coming into this one as favourites. We know that in terms of selection, the two sides not as they were that day, but however you look at it, that is a really good Gala performance.
Yeah, Gala, as I say, from the off, Gala's been very much at it, if you want to describe it that way. And Melrose, especially the first half hour, Melrose just looked a bit jaded or whatever. I don't know why. They're just not right on it, and that's maybe credit to Gala as well, just bringing that little bit of fire. And the mindset's a difficult thing when you want to beat a team by 60 points, and it's not really a true reflection on Gala that day. I think most people know that, but as a player and you're involved in that, you're thinking, subconsciously thinking, we should get the better of this lot. And today, Gala are saying, well, no, we're not having any of that today, and we're going to prove that we that this is the real Gala. And today they certainly were. And as I say, they were very impressive on how they played it together as a team, and they played the conditions really well in the first half. And Melrose decided to impressively actually come out second half and have a go, but by then the way Gala were playing on the edge, every mistake Melrose made, they seemed to capitalise on it second half, and that's how the score's been as big. But all credit to Gala.
And it's Gala who retain the Waverley Cup, which they won at the Green Yards back in 2019. The final score, Gala 43, Melrose 15.
As much as a performance goes, we've needed that massively over the last couple of months. It's maybe went away a little bit, but as a performance, we've worked up really hard over the last couple of weeks leading into this. And people talk about breaks and stuff over Christmas and that, but I think it's just in this world is good. And like you say, playing against Peebles next week is just going to help us keep that momentum going as well, hopefully.
I mean, what's that like in the dressing room now? You've had 3 very heavy defeats, you come back here, I mean, fantastic for confidence.
Absolutely, and listen, Stevie Scott's been in helping us, and he's brought a little bit of buzz around training. He's got good knowledge around what he's trying to do, worked with international teams, so listen, he's brought a lot of buzz, a lot of detail in what we're trying to get, but ultimately trying to play for that jersey again, which we've maybe lost a little bit and got complacent around.
And of course, Gala closing the gap in the Waverley Cup stakes, 7-6 to Melrose now, 1 drawn. It's always a good competitive game, isn't it?
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. Like these as much again. We talk about breaks, but everybody loves playing Boxing Day. Certainly this side of the fence, we love it. Always a big crowd that becomes part of your Christmas schedule. Probably the biggest crowd around the year. So coming out and putting a performance like that is really pleasing.
We said it before the match. We knew it was going to be nothing like it was last month. Gala had a lot of boys coming back. We were missing a few players, had a few changes, but at the end of the day, that wasn't what the 60-odd point turnaround was. Gala hit the ground running straight away, and as I say, played the conditions better, and we're trying to chase a game. It's tough. We made lots of silly errors at key times, and yeah, I think Gala today were just the better team. They were more up for it, they wanted it more, and it showed on the scoreline at the end.
Did they surprise you today?
No, I think we played Gala enough times, played them last season. We know what they like to do and what they bring to the table. If we're being critical, we probably played exactly the way they would have wanted us to play. Try and take them on up front, 1 out rugby off 9. And obviously the conditions do dictate that a bit, but we need to back ourselves, I think, and have the belief to play our expansive game that we can play and do play, and have played this season in these conditions on these pitches.
So we've just got to go week on week, build on performances like this, get some confidence, and hopefully carry on and win as many games as we can going at the end of the season, see what happens.
And the hunger was there today, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally. You've seen that when we defended the line for a lot of that second half and put bodies in the way to try and stop them getting across the line. And listen, Melrose came back at us, absolutely. They scored a couple of nice tries, but the way we dug in was real good.
But you're in a happy place tonight.
Absolutely, yeah, we can enjoy our Boxing Day.
Well, we had snow, we had rain and we had sunshine today, but Gala take home the Waverley Cup with a 43 victory over Melrose. We're back on the 7th of January, back again to see Melrose versus Ayr, but down at the Green Yards this time. Hope you can join us then. Cheerio.